Hi, so today I'm going to be filming a couple videos, and sorry for my appearance, I've been sick lately, so yeah. The first video that I'm going to be filming is called the Throwback Tag. There are 15 questions, so let's get started. Number 1, what year were you born in? I was born in 1993. Number 2, do you have any pictures of yourself when you were younger? If you do, show them. I actually do not. All my old pictures are at my old house in Georgia, so I no longer have access to them. Number 3, what TV shows did you grow up watching? I grew up watching the Rugrats, Doug, Rocket Power, The Amanda Show, all that, Keenan and Kel, That's So Raven, all the 90s shows. What did you want to be when you grew up, and do you still want to be that? I wanted to be the typical princess ballerina, and no, I did not. Still want to be that. Show a video of yourself when you were younger. Again, I don't have any. Number 6, what were your favorite toys to play with? I remember playing with Legos a lot, and dolls. Legos and dolls were my favorite things. Number 7, what's the most embarrassing thing you can remember doing? I don't really remember doing anything embarrassing. Honestly, can't remember. Number 8, read something you wrote when you were in kindergarten. Again, that's back in Georgia. Number 9, 3 songs you loved to listen to as a child. Genie in a Bottle by Christina Aguilera. Bye 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 by NSYNC. And I believe it was called Cover Girl, but I don't know who sings it. Number 10, what was one funny thing you dressed up as for Halloween when you were younger? Every year when I was younger, I dressed up as a witch. Every year. Number 11, tell a funny story of something you remember happening when you were young. I don't remember anything funny happening. I'm sure something did, but I have a horrible memory and I don't remember it. Number 12, are there any special things you've kept from when you were a child? There's a lot of things I have in Georgia that I hope are still there, that I loved as a child. I have one here that is a stuffed animal that I got when I was really young, and that's pretty much the only thing I have. So, number 13, what was something weird you used to do as a child? I would completely lick all around my lips. Like, I would have a ring all the way around my lips. Like, a red ring. And I would just keep licking it and licking it and licking it. Number 14, what's the scariest thing you remember that happened to you when you were younger? Well, it was the summer of my 6th grade year, and my cousin decided he wanted to experiment with drugs. And he also had an elderly grandmother. So one day I was getting ready to go to summer school, and I looked outside, and there was an ambulance going down my aunt's driveway. And I thought it was for his grandmother. So I told my dad, and me and my dad walked over there, and it turns out it was for my cousin. He had overdosed on several different medications, including energy drinks, Adderall, Seroquel, and several other sleeping agents. And he had ended up throwing up in his sleep and had started foaming at the mouth and couldn't breathe. And yeah. And then they called an ambulance, and they had to call in a second ambulance because there wasn't enough oxygen to revive him on the first one. So when they finally got him stable enough to move, they took him to the emergency room, and he was in ICU for, I believe, 2 weeks, and he completely forgot how to read, how to write, how to walk, how to talk, how to do everything. He had tubes coming out of everywhere, and it was just really scary for me because I was in 6th grade, so I wasn't really that old, and at the time he was one of my best friends. We are 5 years apart in age, but we would do everything together. Because as I said, I used to live in Georgia, and I had a 13-acre area that was all mine, so we would go four-wheeling, we'd ride horses, and it would just be, it was fun, and he was my best friend, and after he went on drugs, he turned into a completely different person. And even to this day, he is still not the same person. He's still on drugs. He still doesn't talk to me. He still doesn't even know that I exist anymore. So, scary what drugs can do to you. Number 15. How is the world different now from how it was when you were a child? Whoa. When I was a child, you could actually go outside at like midnight and just walk the streets and know nothing would happen. Now you go outside at midnight and there's a possibility of you get shot and getting mugged or raped or something like that. And there were no such thing as cell phones when I was a little kid. I mean, there were, but they were just there was no such thing as smartphones. Your parents didn't call you when it was time to come home. When it got dark out, that was when you went home. This day and age makes it very scary for me to want to have a child. I want kids, but to raise them in this day and age is very, very scary to me. And it's just full of war, and it wasn't like that when I was younger. It's just a very scary place now. And yeah, that is the end of the throwback tag. Kind of a little sappy at the end, but whatever. So yeah, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.